In this class, we will understand the concept of nested loops. So this concept is very important to understand. Before going deep into the concept of nested loops, I request all of you to attempt a quiz which we have already posted in our Learning Agent app. So there are 4 quizzes and the link for the quizzes is provided in the description. So there are 4 quizzes that are already uploaded. So the first 3 quizzes are completely related to this section, which is selection statements and loop statements. The 4th quiz is the grand quiz, which is completely related to all the concepts that we have covered so far in the C programming course. So we have covered so far 4 sections. The 4th quiz is completely related to all the sections that we have covered so far, which is a grand quiz. So I request all of you to attempt those quizzes. The link for the quizzes is provided in the description. So click on the link, you will be redirected to the course content. So click on the course content tab. Within that course content, you will be provided with all the sections. In those sections, click on the 4th section. Now within this 4th section, you will be provided with all the quizzes. So please attempt all those quizzes and assess yourself how good you are going with this course. So let's go on to the concept. So the the definition states that a nested loop is a loop that is placed inside the body of another loop. If a loop is placed within the body of another loop, that loop is what we call it as a nested loop. So let's understand the concept of nested loop by using this syntax. So here we are having 2 loops. So this is the outer for loop. So this is the outer loop. And now within this loop, we are having another loop. This loop is what we call it as nested loop. And this loop is also called as inner loop. This is how the nested loops are created. Now what is the use of these nested loops? So this we will not be able to understand in one single class, because we are going to solve lots of programming examples on this concept. So at this point of time, whatever the loop that is inside is what we call it as a nested loop, and the outside loop is what we call it as outer loop, and this is also called as inner loop. So let's understand the use of this nested loop by using this example. So this is a very classical example that I have taken. Now what is the outcome of this loop? That we will try to understand while understanding this example. So here in this example, we are having 2 variables which are the counters for the loops. So for the outer loop, the counter I is used, and for the inner loop, which is the nested loop, the counter J is used. Now what happens is, every time this loop gets executed, every time the outer loop gets executed, all the iterations of the inner loop is done. So this point is very important to understand. So once again, I'll explain this concept again. Every time we come into this loop, this complete loop will get executed. So let's understand this. Here initially, so once the program gets executed, the value of I and J has been declared, and here the value of I is initialized to 1. So we are going to come into this loop, means so far how many iterations are done. Now can you guess how many iterations this loop is going to make in this entire program execution? So once again, in this entire program execution, how many times does this loop iterate? So it is going to iterate 1, 2 and 3, and whenever the value of I gets incremented to 4, we are going to come out of this loop because this condition fails. Means 4 less than or equal to 3. Is it true? No, 4 is greater than 3. So we are going to come out of this loop, means this loop is going to iterate 3 times. So this understanding is important. Means in the first iteration, where the value of I is equal to 1, we are going to come into this loop, and now this for loop will iterate. So how many times does this for loop iterate? See here the value of J is equal to 1 has been initialized to 1, and J less than or equal to 5. Means 5 times this loop is going to iterate. So J is equal to 1, it is true. J is equal to 2, this condition is true. J is equal to 3, every time the J will get incremented by 1. So J is equal to 3, 2, 4, 4 also true, 5 also true. Whenever the value of J becomes 6, then we are going to come out of this loop. And every time we come into this loop is going to iterate 5 times. So try to understand this. Every time we come into this loop, how many times we are going to come into this outer loop? We are going to come into this outer loop for 3 times. Try to understand this. Okay. So now what is the output? So what is that which is getting printed in this for loop is we are going to print the value of j. So let's see the output. So first time we come into this loop and this loop is getting executed, and every time here this is space %d space has been allocated, and every time the value of j will get printed. So what is the value of j? 5 times this loop is going to iterate. So here it is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now once the value of j is 5 and the value of j will get incremented by the end of this loop, and we are going to check 6 less than or equal to 5. 6 less than or equal to 5. Is it true? No, it is not true. So we are going to come out of this loop, inner loop, which is nested loop. Now we are going to print new line, means the cursor which is previously, so at this point of time it is here. Now this cursor will be moved here. Now what happens? So after this new line, again the outer loop gets iterated. Now the value of I will become 2. Now so this is done. Now we are in this iteration. Now the value of 2 less than or equal to 3. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Means we are going to come into this loop and again this loop will get iterated. So try to understand this point. Every time we come into this inner loop, outer loop, the complete inner loop will get executed because this is nested within another loop. Okay. Now what is the job of this for loop? As you know, it is going to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now the value of j will become 6 less than or equal to 5. So this is going to fail and a new line will get printed. Means the cursor will wait here and we are again going into this for loop. Now the value of I is 3. Previously it is 2. 3 less than or equal to 3. Is it true? Yes, it is true. So we are going to come into this and this for loop is going to iterate again for 5 times. So try to understand this again for 5 times. So what is the outcome of this for loop? So it is going to execute for 5 times and it is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after this we are going to come out of this. The value of j will become 6. 6 less than or equal to 5 is going to fail. And we are going to come out of this for loop and the printf new line. A new line will get printed, means the cursor will be here and we are going to check for the value of I, which is incremented to 4. So 4 less than or equal to 3. Is it true? No, it is false. So once the outer loop is failing, we are going to come out of this entire outer loop and the remaining part of after the loop will get executed. In this case, it is just written 0. So we are going to come out of this entire program. So now what is the outcome? So this is how the output will get printed. So every time the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will get printed and these values will get printed for 3 times. So we are going to solve lots of problems on these kind of examples. So these kind of examples are called as patterns. So we will understand these concepts in detail in our later coming classes. So this is for this class, which is an introduction to the nested loops. And these concepts are very important in data structures in the later coming courses like data structures and design analysis of algorithms. So we are going to analyze algorithms for these kind of nested loops. So that's it for this video. So I request all of you to attempt the quizzes. The link that for the quizzes is provided in the description. So that's it for this video. See you in the next class.